Proxy, table gaming, PTG, Hyper G, and Lucky Sixes.
Uar.
Ooh, yes, to you too. We Art of War has begun.
Yes. Hence the Uar. Because I can't really do a southwest accent. I don't know geography either. But I think it's southwest,
You're right
right?
about that. I was wondering. I was thinking Japan and ninjas Southwest. That doesn't work.
Wow. Oh
But
yeah, I should
you
have.
weren't thinking
No, we'll
ninjas.
Konnichiwa
You were
next
thinking
time. Don't
Bristol,
worry.
weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. Yeah. So Art of War 5. Can you believe it?
Yeah,
5.
man.
I mean,
Yeah,
it should
so
be
many.
should really be 6, shouldn't it? Because we missed 2021.
Yeah.
But 5 is still 5
It's
very good
amazing,
tournaments.
and it's yeah, it started to be the calendar tournament of the year, which
It
is really
definitely
cool.
is well, from my limited experience, it's the one that never moves date.
Yeah,
Like it's always February, middle of February,
yeah,
bang in.
and
You
no, a bit of a
know.
staple in the tournament scene. One of the bigger attended ones had nearly 60 people there.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
could have got over that if they didn't have a capacity.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, no, really well attended. Always a bit of a feel good factor as well, and the guys that run
Mm,
it, Dan and Ryan, do a fantastic job on running it and getting prize support and just
absolutely.
making it a bit of a fun event as well as being ranked and stuff.
Yeah, and hosted really well by Jim and Alan at the team at
Mm.
Big. Their staff were brilliant as well, and they had a few people like coming around taking orders for food, and
Yeah,
you know, the shop was always attended and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just superb throughout, wasn't it? The
yeah,
whole weekend.
always have fun there, and it's a bit of a close to our hearts because it's the first one we went to as well. So this
It
is
is, yeah,
we always enjoy going to down to Bristol, seeing the
we do.
lads and
Yeah,
lasses.
yeah. Like our second home, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, especially in the Ninth Age world. But we will crack on, and we this is to show you some of the thing as
Action.
well, some of the action going on. This was during my first thing. I thought I'd get a bit of a picture.
Yeah, we were both fairly near bottom tables because we were pretty much the last out the
We
draw,
were,
weren't
yeah,
we?
yeah. You're to
Nearly
the
both.
right as we look
Yes,
at it.
I was to the right. Yes. There's a
Um,
lot of guys
but
playing
yeah,
with a lot of toy soldiers in that picture. I
yeah, it's
like it.
always good. It's always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good atmosphere and really good fun. But shall we crack on with business?
Let's not waste. Oh, I like the graphics side. You are excelling yourself,
We're
Lucky Sixes.
yes, yeah. I guess we to mention it. We are trying to make the thumbnails a bit tournament.
You're very kind saying we.
Well, it's the
Lucky
royal we, right?
Sixes.
The royal we.
Well, yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it.
Mm.
I slaved long and hard over
Yeah.
this thumbnail. Yeah.
So yeah, just so that it's a bit easier for you viewers to see where we're at with the bat reps and which ones link in with each other and stuff like that. I've even added Lucky Sixes 1 at the bottom, and that
Has
is a
to be
theme
number
throughout the rest.
Number one for Lucky
No,
Sixes.
yeah, that's just me. It's just me bragging, right? Because I'm number one. Right? But yeah. So hopefully that's good. But yeah, no.
It looks great. I
Art
love
of
it.
War. I always like the Art of War stuff that they produce anyway. So
Yes.
nice to get that in there.
Actually, that's a good time to mention. Dan did a great pack for the
He
weekend,
did,
didn't he?
yeah.
That was really cool as well because it had everyone's lists in, all the scenarios. It was really in depth. Had all the cheat sheets and everything. It was really, really good.
Yeah, always good. You get like some dice as well and some little bits. We've got little stab fat for later on as well. And yeah, it's really, really nice. Get lots of goodies. You feel like as a player you get goodies. That's nice.
But you disrespected it all with a list like this.
And models as well. We'll get onto that. But I didn't. This is the first time I haven't used my models for a tournament like proper. Because I'm now in Team England, and lots of discussion was had as to what.
Slip that in there.
Oh, hashtag number one. But no, a lot of talk was about because obviously there's minimal practice between now and ETC for me for tournaments. So what to take, what to try out, and things like that. I'd already tried out Tanker's list quite a bit, the wretched ones. So I have a decent amount of experience with that, and I really one thing I want to do is get better at Chosen Knights. So the best way to do that is just take Chosen Knights.
Pretty much. Yeah.
We
Wow.
were talking about different marks and things. So this is a very much troll list with 2 heralds, because there was a lot of talk on whether 2 heralds now is viable. Obviously, they've taken a bit of a nerf in they only have 2 spells rather than the 3, and they're now movement 7 as opposed 714 as opposed to 816. But they are a lot cheaper by like nearly
Which means
100
you can fit
points.
2 in. Yeah.
I think you could before, but it was a bit. They were like 1900 points rather than 1600.
Oh, right.
So,
Okay. Yeah, very nice.
but yeah, so thought I'd give it a go, and I quite like my maneuverable heralds, and I often have 1 in. But
You
double
do.
herald is something I've not tried before, so we'll try that. The warriors are pretty much a staple.
They got Great Weapon and Wrath back. Yes.
Great, yeah, they've got Wrath back, which is good.
I'm very
I've been,
happy.
out of bat reps been using warriors without Wrath in it. I don't like it.
No.
Banner Relentless Banner, just to get them as quick as all the Chosen Knights as well. So pretty much a staple, nothing too worried about there. 3 lots of chaff and 3 lots of Envy Chosen Knights. Envy is the double
Double Swift Stride.
double Swift Ride. So which I'm told it means a 10 on dice is 52%.
Right.
So take some risks, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, even with 10 being 52%, that means 11 and 12 are a lot higher than they really should be.
I think,
right? So, you know.
I think it's 10. It might even be 11, but like something ridiculously high. So high charges it should go. And I've got the chaff to hopefully
mitigate if they fail.
Yeah. So starting to,
and you're liking flayers over Warhammer.
Starting to really like the flayers, maneuverability, light troops, and reroll panic. Discipline 8 is pretty nice for chaff. You can soup them up to have like skinning lash and things like that, but I quite like that basic version. So it's very one-dimensional, I guess, with the herald being the most flexible in the list. The other stuff just does what it does, really.
Yeah.
Against me.
Wow,
Vermin
I mean that's quite a different
Swarms.
setup for lists, isn't it?
So to be fair, this is good practice because I don't often have a chance to go against Vermin Swarms. So on a slight level, I was excited to play it. The other 98% was
99,
dreading the fact that you could go against Vermin Swarms because they got some nasty tools and lots of things to do. So I mean, just going through it very, very quickly.
This is Andy Catlow, who knows his Vermin Swarms.
I've not played him before either, so another excited. So that makes me, 40% excited to play because I've not played someone. So that's good. 3 Duskblade Assassins, Swarm Priest on a platform, Swarm Priest Apprentice, 2 House Prefects that help the dreaded experimental weapons teams get better. One of which goes in the Black Fur Veterans.
Yes,
Praetorians, lightning reflexes. Core unit Black Fur Veterans, 2 units of Vermin Legionnaires, some Mamillo Brutes, 3 weapons teams, all the weapons teams, in fact, and some Grenadiers. They can outshoot me and outfight me.
Yes.
But I can outmaneuver them, kind of.
Can you?
So I'm quicker than them, basically, is the only plus I was taking of this. I wasn't looking forward to the game in itself because I didn't really think I could take it to them like Warriors normally do. Obviously, mine is a very aggressive list. Anyway, kind of, if I go up, they just shoot off 1 to 2 units per turn and then fight the rest.
So you say you can't outfight it. I mean, is it worth explaining a little bit why?
So
you've said the Black Fur Veterans, the Blood Fur Praetorians. They're the ones with the House Prefect who gives them lightning reflexes.
They're the danger unit, and basically they're strength 5, agility 5, great weapons. And
the lightning reflexes cancels out great weapons going last, effectively. So they're agility 5. So that's a really good combo.
But even without that, they're fighting extra rank, I think, as well.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Even without that, they're halving the combat res on my 13 attacks
Sure.
Or let's say 18 with the guys on top. Yes, I'm wounded on 2s, but I'm still hitting. I need to hit, and blah, blah, blah. I just don't think I do enough to actually win combat. And if I do, they're steadfast and then can get multi-charges on virtually everywhere. The warriors might be able to, but I still don't think they've got like 40 attacks. 32, 40 full. That's if I get into things at full capacity, which with those experimental teams, I just won't. I just simply won't. And with the assassins, they kill the heralds. So it was a bit of a. I didn't really know what to do, and I won't say any more. But I came up with a plan, and I tried to execute it, and we'll see how we get.
Ooh, a plan, a man with a plan. Yeah. The good thing about round 1 is you can somewhat form a plan.
Well, yeah. I mean, from prediction point of view, it's a 0 to 5 because he can shoot me and he can do whatever he wants. The only thing is can I keep things alive, basically?
Sure.
Throughout for 6 turns, and there was a lot of talking about different ranges for the experimental teams and things like that. So it was. I need to be on point, really. Add to that, we're a bit closer. And, oh god! But it did mean that at least if we were that close, then I could, if I wanted to, charge up, and there'd be minimal shooting for 1 turn, and then I could go in and have a bit of a play around. But it was, diagonal refuse flank, and it was bring your goblin to work day. So what part of the thing with Art of War was that it was very fluffy in terms of objectives and things. This one, you basically had a goblin orphan that you put in a unit after all the vanguards and stuff, and then chose to, on your turn, if any of your units were within 12 inches of them, of their goblin orphan, then you had to take a discipline test, maximize discipline test, which is very hard to actually get your head around because normally it's the other way around. And you still got BSB, and if you're Saurians, you still got cold-blooded and things like that. So you still have all that. So interesting thing. So what a lot of the scene we're talking about is those 2 tactics basically. You put it in a Death Star and you move it up and you have it for the whole game, or you put it in a chaff unit and Hail Mary it forward, and do all that. So again, we'll see what we both do.
Yeah, we shall.
On to deployment.
So you're not using your models, as you say.
Yes.
These are new models for the channel.
These were. Thank you very much, Tanker, for lending me. His models. I'll move us down so we can actually see them. The only thing I did do was change the one of the heralds so that we could differentiate between them. From my
so that's your herald,
but I asked the opponents if it was all right because of painting and things like that.
Synergy,
Tanker let me use his model, so it was very cool of him. And let me use, because I simply don't have 12 chosen knights or flayers actually. So,
but Tanker does, obviously.
Tanker does, this is me. I got to deploy first, and really, I'm bluffing. So I put right on the line, and I was measuring as far as I could to give the impression that I was going to rush him like any other warriors or should. My plan is to go up, see if I can get some points with my heralds pew-pewing, and we'll go into them in a sec, and then just run away.
Okay, so preserve your 10
See if with him, especially with him deploying in a corner now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that, we haven't gone through it yet, but that's result for you, right?
So I put it on the line, and he obviously went, well, he's warriors, so he's going to push up, and went in the corner. And I was like, that's great, because I can edge forward.
Got space to move forward.
He won't come forward then, because he's just waiting for me to stay behind, and then I'll just bugger off. Like turn 4 or something. So that was the plan.
Turn 4? Blimey, that's late.
Well,
turn 2.
If he stays there by turn 4, I'm lovely. But yeah, so that is kind of the plan. I want to zone him as much as possible and pick up points. So Mamilla Brutes I can probably handle because I don't have the something in numbers, safety in numbers rule.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so interesting one. Just going into it, I've got chosen knights, flayers, chosen knights, herald, dogs, warriors, herald, flayers, chosen knights. He's got legionnaires on this side. Then next to them is I want to say canister launchers.
Okay.
No, rotary guns are next to him.
Yeah.
Then behind is the ignifiers. In
Yeah.
front of the ignifiers is the big special unit of Praetorians.
Black Bear, yeah.
At the very back are the assassins not deployed. Next to the not deployed assassins is legionnaires with the bell. Sacred platform, I think it's called. Next to them is the canister launchers. He's got a third unit of
launchers,
weapons team, but I can't see where they are. In front of the canister launchers, which are the toxic ones, is the core Praetorians. Then the Mamilla brutes on the right. I think behind the forest, in between the two units, is where the other unit of weapons teams goes.
Okay, sure.
I forget what they're called though. But yeah.
Fire throwers.
Deep fire throwers, which I wasn't too bothered by in this because they're AP 0. I don't mind that.
Sure.
But the canister launchers are AP 10 and the rotary guns I think are AP 3 and strength 6. So just nasty, bro.
No worries.
So I did try and create my own stuff for this, and for the heralds I had these nice lovely cards basically to help me and the opponent tell what rules they had. So I kept these.
Did you make those?
So I made them, just out of just laminated paper, basically.
Brilliant. They're cool.
Yeah. And on the other side, they had all the rules. So for anybody playing Warriors that wants to know what Double Herald and what I took Hard Target, which is a Wilderness Spirit, obviously because of all the shooting, and Sorcerer Immortal. This was, I think this was my general. No, this wasn't my general. The other one was my general.
You got to make your own model, the general.
Yeah. And this was Hard Target again and Brand of the Dragon. So he took Wrath of God and Breath of Corruption, basically because Wrath of God could be done from the complete other side of the board.
Yeah, that's useful.
Which is good. And potentially stop him coming forwards where possible. And this one, my other one took Hellfire and Grave Calls. It's going to be a bit closer,
ranged weapons,
basically, to try and get the experimental teams where possible.
Great.
But yeah, I thought
like
they were
that.
cool, and I quite liked having the cards next to them, just so that everybody was very aware of what they actually were.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
On my turn, the bluff continues, and I move forward like this. I actually make a bit of a mistake, and I'll tell you why at the end. I use my Banner Relentless banner on the Warriors to move up. I don't use the full 15, I move like 13, 14, but again, just to give that impression that I'm coming for him. I'll tell you why that's a mistake at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise just sort of circling around, making sure that everybody is out of range of the experimental teams, because I don't want them moving up massive and shooting me. So
waste a turn.
That's it. That's the idea. I Grave Calls hit one of his guys and do. I think they have 4 wounds each. They might have 3. I can't remember. But either way, I kill one and do 1 wound remaining.
I'm guessing that the weapon teams aren't in range for that yet, right? Because
yes. Well,
through
in order
even
to get
18 wounds of them is pretty tricky.
In order to get wounds off on them, I need to be in range of 18 inches, which means they would be in range of me, which is not good.
No.
To be fair, with Grave Calls, I can make it 24 inches with Veil tokens, and I think that's what I did here.
Okay.
For thing, he has his goblin in the. Maybe this is the unit of
Praetorians.
Special Praetorians, but yeah, his Death Star, and I have them in the Flayers here.
Okay.
We're basically doing the opposites. I'm going for a Hail Mary at some point, and he's going to try and get me taking tests throughout the game.
That's hard. Yeah.
So this is his turn, and he moves up very cautiously, which I'm very happy with.
Okay, but it is a move up. It is a bit of a move forward.
Yeah, ever so slightly. Again, nothing anywhere near than what he could do.
Yeah, sure.
Just kind of like setting his things. Obviously, as a Vermin player, he has to keep in the bubble. That's one of the big things.
Eagle standard.
And yeah, it's just moving his experimental teams a little bit more forward, just to give him some zoning. So we're kind of both zoning at the minute. With shooting and magic, he does 3 wounds to my warriors. I'll take that. Again, I was out of range of most things. I think it was 1 deep thrower and a bit of magic. So I think it's Hand of Heaven, I want to say. He did on them.
Yeah, the spell you always have to let go and then hope.
Yeah. On my turn, I move tentatively, quite aggressively on the flanks, and I'm sort of measuring the distance between the Miller Brutes and the Chosen Knights as a bit of a bluff, but also I think that's not too bad. If I can get them down to like 4 or 3 models, I think I can go in.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping that if I do go in, then there's an overrun like that.
Yeah.
The flayers over there next to them are just there in case I fail a long charge with the things. But I don't move up proper aggressively. With my warriors.
Is that giving away or
which potentially
first signs?
But however, I am zoning. My flayers go up to Hail Mary this turn. I can get virtually every single unit in, which I think is 9 checks, but apart from the ignifiers at the back there.
Yeah, sure.
So
you're hoping to grab 1 or 2 objective points.
Yeah, my ideal would be 2, because I think I can then stay away from him for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Just run away with
we'll see.
13 or 12 points. Yeah,
they've got a discipline 8 if they survive, so against his. So yeah. I get
so you put Wrath of God next to them.
Well, I don't mind too much. They're going to die in the next turn. I completely. But what I do try and use it for is to keep the rotary guns and the canister launchers back. So I put them in front of them in order to say if they march forward and shoot me, they'll shoot me great. But before they shoot, they might get a Wrath of God to their name.
Yeah.
So on his turn, he moves back with the rotary guns, which to me is a massive, massive win. I don't fail the goblin check on my turn.
Well, you wouldn't have needed to because you weren't there at the
quite.
time. But yeah.
Yeah, so if he kills me, then I don't check. On his turn, he passes all but 1.
Okay.
Of the thing. So I get 1, which is good, but I'm really hoping for 2, just to give me that bit of extra.
Yeah.
So that's 18 on. So 9 rerollable 8s, I think.
Yeah, probably 8.
Which is minimized and maximized because of all the Eagle standards. And stuff. So yeah, it was so like 4 dice on each one, and he did fail a few, but just not consecutively. Only did that once. So yeah, again hoping for 1 more, but can't complain too much. I'm 1-0 up in the objective, so I just need to stay away from that unit. So otherwise he's moved up like so. He manages to get 2 wounds off on my Herald, which is
okay.
That's
my concerning. Yeah.
That's my general as well. So I'm like, oh god. Wrath of God, didn't come down, but he shot away my flayers. This is actually with the deep fire throwers, and they did some wounds themselves. Whoop whoop.
Okay.
So, what do I need? 4 more wounds off them.
They're 2 each, aren't they?
3.
3 wounds each.
Experimental teams are all 3 wounds each, which is something I thought they were 2 wounds each. They are now 3, which was I was like, there's only 12 wounds in that rotary gun. There's only 6 wounds, and he was like, no, they're 3 each. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow,
all right,
that's incredible.
But it means he did do a lot of hits to himself. So because of the extra, I think he did 2 1s, which meant because he was doing Trial and Terror. He did 4 wounds to himself.
Yeah.
So he comes up. So I need to do 5 that means in that one, which is doable with the Grave Calls or something. Over here, he could get in range and did 4 wounds here, but does a load to himself as well.
Okay.
I want to say this might even be my turn actually as well.
Okay, you're pew-pewing.
Yeah, I think this is my shooting at him as well as him shooting himself.
Shooting.
yeah, magically.
Warriors.
Yeah, I know. It was a shoot-off, ironically, throughout this whole game.
That was what you wanted.
A Wrath of God also came down and did a bunch of wounds that were pretty...
Put the whole unit off.
Took the whole
He's removing
unit,
the whole
41.
unit.
No, just basically did a load of wounds to rats and didn't really matter for the rest.
And no one cares.
And no one cares, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it did a job in keeping him back, so there's that as well. On to his turn, because I think this is his turn.
So I suppose in your movement turn, your third movement turn, you just like fanned out.
Yeah,
so
I'm moving back.
Room to
it's very clear now that I am
not
engaging, and actually by this point, because this is the end of his turn 3, I think.
Yeah.
It's only now that he's really marched forward with things. So halfway there, he's well away from me, working so far.
You've got a whole half a board to move into, and I see you've moved your Herald back because he's taken another wound.
So I'll move us up so you can see him. So the only real casualties I've taken so far is obviously the flares that I Hail Mary'd up, and 3 wounds from this Herald. But now he is at a point where he cannot be targeted by any magic, and he's shooting nothing, and he's just going to Wrath of God for the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's brilliant.
So yeah, that's him done basically, and that's Andy moved up. He is actually able, because I'm not too close. I'm a bit too close to these guys, able to just keep on chinking away here.
Yeah. It's a bit of a concern. So many casualties.
He's got 3 more turns, so as long as I don't lose, I need to lose
another 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 7. But which it could happen. But I'm hoping to get away.
Well, 4 a turn. That's not great.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I should be all right. I should
turn around.
Now my flares go up to stop the advance. My Herald is way back where, because he's just continuing the thing, and my warriors actually turn around and run. So they go, rather than go 2.5 back, they actually turn around and go 4. This is where I made a mistake by marching them with a Relentless Banner early, because it meant that I could have on my next turn marched them 15 away and just been safe straight away. But it means now that there is somewhat of a chase still on.
Okay.
However, my flares go up and do the dirty and basically stop any advances. There still isn't a terrible matchup, Chosen Knights versus Mamilo Brutes, but it's just whether or not I want to give up 700 points for 500, basically.
Sure. If you cost more, then not so much.
Otherwise, just fanning around and just don't worry about it. On his turn, he charges me there, which I'm actually really thankful for, because I probably will die and I won't have to take a test. Which means I'm still 1-0 up.
You're holding on to your 1-0.
Yeah. And he can't really move forward with his experimental team. So another.
They're not tall either, are they?
They quite possibly are. But I'm tall as well as a player. So
that's what I mean. I was thinking maybe if he was standard, then he couldn't see over tall.
Yeah.
But maybe he can.
But so he moves up so that he can't. His shooting's going to be minimal again. His rotary guns can come up though, so that's a bit annoying. But otherwise, he's leaving this as well. He can shoot into combat, which is the issue, and I went first, so he's going to get at least 1 round of shooting into combat and doesn't care about his legionnaires. So it's just a standoff, really, and that's really what's happening for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He gets 3 wounds off with magic and shooting. I think it was Hand of Heaven.
I was going to say, that's your Aegis saves, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was just Hand of Heaven, and then the rest of the shooting goes off.
Oh, no.
Blinks 2 more wounds. Yeah, that was my
That's very
Aegis
just-
saves for the first Hand of Heaven. I think they went off, and it was just like, just to.
Or maybe that's your
But
armor
that
save, then you took 3
it
out.
was bad, and it's a lot of points.
Yeah.
But that just showed me that I needed to play how I'd played. Because
Possibly
if
not
you
even
can,
coming nearer at all.
yeah,
The way you needed to
if
stop
you
him
can get
coming
a
at you.
herald just like that in one
Yeah.
turn, and
Yeah.
that's with like minimal shooting and one Hand of Heaven, you're like,
Yeah.
well, what can you do? It was a bit of bad luck, and I didn't think I deserved him to die.
Not
But
5 wounds in one turn when you've got a 4 up, 4 up.
it is what it is.
Or,
I don't
or even
think
a 6 up,
I
4
don't
up.
think my armor save happened too much,
No.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Top that off with some more rotary gun shooting, and he killed
Ouch.
7 wounds worth of chosen knights. And I'm like, oh god, this just like compounds
crumbling.
what I thought.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm literally, and this isn't even with the full unit of rotary guns. This is just the front rank. It was just like
back rank's not in range.
yeah, it's just like mental what was going on in this shooting phase. It's just like wow.
Yeah.
Kills all but one of the flayers, which means I can flee.
Okay.
Which and I do, and he lets me go. I actually run like 11 as well, and I rally. I think I rally in the end, but we'll see. This is on to my turn, and I move the dogs up so that everything else could run away.
Okay, I was surprised you needed to do that. Really, I mean, I guess that's to stop his units from moving 10, is it?
Yeah, but I think you're right, and it gives basically he needs
119 points and a
119 and a test on leadership 5, which is so silly. I should have just ran everything away.
Yeah, including the dogs.
Including the dogs, and just not worried about him marching up, whatever.
Because you're still 1-0 up at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm still 1-0 up. But then he moves forward like this, so he's within 12. I actually rally with the Flayer, which is bad for me because it means I'll have 2 tests.
Yeah.
On the start of my turn. And he moves up like so.
I love that you've rallied him and stayed facing backwards.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Anyway, do you know that you can choose not to use your general's discipline? I mean, I'm guessing you were on an 8 anyway.
Yeah. You can choose it, but my general's way back in the corner.
Yeah, sure.
So, we're measuring between the experimental weapon teams and the warriors. We're over 18 inches as is, and I have a March 8. He is a March 8, so he cannot shoot them anymore, which means he'll get no points for that. Which is good because this is his turn 5. What to say? He continues to shoot and does 3 out of 6. Another couple of wounds here, so yeah. He's going to get half points, but I'm going to get away. Over here, again, he chooses not to charge my dogs, which is fair enough, because he actually does charge them, and then goes, oh, no, actually, much better for me not to charge. And I was like, you did say charge. But, yeah.
Flee now!
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, but otherwise, carries on. I don't know what's happened with him, but I'm not sure. I think he charges me and I flee.
He has charge now?
Yeah, only the Flayer, but that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant because the dogs go and fail a thing, the leadership goblin orphan check, and then he charges me because it's turn 6. And
right, I see. Yeah, I'm with you.
Or he shoots me. I can't remember, but some reason. Oh no! This is my turn. I charged him.
To get them up, to get them dead.
To die. Because I'm not like troops. I can't move back, and I was like, I can't get out at 12, so I'm not losing the objective. So I charged them in to die.
Okay.
Compounding my mistake, really. And they shot the flayers off as well. Or flayer. Single model. And last turn, the rotary guns come up, do a little bit of wounds there. It's largely irrelevant, and that's the end of the game. And and that's lunch. There's lunch. That was very nice, actually. Thank you, Big, for your luncheon. It was a very, very tactical game, and
it's an interesting one.
An interesting one that we had. Uh, 14-6 in the end because of a drawn objective, which I was like, I could have got 9 points if I didn't move up them dogs.
Okay.
Possibly...
And so you lost a herald and all 3 chaff units. And that's it,
yes, right? And half points for a chosen knight.
Oh, he got half points there, did he? Okay.
Yeah, so it ended up 1,500 points.
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
it was one of them. Like the herald was quite unlucky, I felt. Probably you should get half points on one of them though. So it's only 400 points difference, but it's a TP, and you will notice I had 0 VPs on him. Just grave calls. I think I did get one grave call off that did 1 wound to one of his experimental teams, and you're just like, well, that was my chance to get some points. Between the dogs moving up to lose the or draw the objective, but prevent me winning it was silly. It didn't cost me, but using the Relentless Banner so early was a mistake.
Sure, but I guess that was all part of the ruse that you were playing, right?
Yes,
and if you'd only moved 10 inches, are they moving 5?
4.
Only moving 8 inches forward when he's deployed back, when you've got a Relentless Banner, is potentially a bit suspicious.
Possibly, but what it does do is give me 2 turns of marching forward.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It was a little bit of a mistake, but
it actually allowed me, or didn't allow me to bluff for 2 turns, because it meant I was already up there, and then I moved back. So, if I was moving up twice, then that would potentially have kept him back a bit longer. But yeah, it was a really fun game. I had lots of fun with him. Andy was good, nice player, nice to chat to, and for our first game, it was very nice. I look forward to the rematch, although I hope he isn't taking Vermins again. But yeah, 14-6. I thought actually I played really, really well. Got a little bit unlucky here and there. But even playing really well and getting unlucky, I got 0 VPs, and I just thought that's so Vermin swarms at the minute.
You just can't shift them.
Crazy.
If you come at them and try to shift them, your units die.
They're certainly one of the rock paper scissor armies that if they are rock and your scissors, it's virtually impossible to get like a decent win out of them. There's not many matchups which are not swingy and like impossible, but the Vermins are just, they have so many tools that can
place. They won the Masters as well with Kieran.
Yeah, they did. So I really enjoyed the game. It was good to get 6 points out of it. Was higher.
Yeah, I mean that's higher than your expectation, right?
So, although I classically I was like, I could have maybe got a 10 out of this. Could have maybe got a 10. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good fun game, and cheers to Andy, and we roll on for your round 1 now.
Yeah, my round 1. Don't forget about me. I'm in this tournament too. Yeah, looking forward to that. I've got James McDonnell.
Yes.
Yeah, also playing Warriors. It's my Saurians. So yeah, looking forward to that. Never played James either. So yeah, should be fun. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment on what you think of the thumbnail and stuff. Anything else, and the battle as well. How long would you have kept the ruse of moving forward going, or would you literally have deployed in the corner and said nope right from the off? Or maybe you would have run at him full pelt and tried to smash your way through. Let us know what you think in the comments.
We should say as well, we don't do it a lot, but if you do like our content and everything and want to support us via Patreon, you can. There's a link on the YouTube channel itself directly, and in the description to all the videos. We're currently doing a lot of engagement with the Patreon regarding our Mega 300 battle. So if you want to be a part, we're trying to see how we can get them all involved directly in that mega game, or indirectly through suggestions and stuff if you're from abroad. So if you want to be a part of that, then get onto our Patreon, and you can do that, and that's be part of that, and probably the start of many other battles which we're going to be
Team Hyper-G
offering offering to the Patreon as well. So
absolutely,
something to give back to you guys, because we really appreciate your support.
Absolutely. No, definitely. Cool. So we'll look towards my round 1 coming up next, folks.
Yep. See you later.